Good afternoon, everybody. What a pleasant Saturday, and what a better thing to do than shoot the shit with my boys from Cinesports Talk. Got Kyle right here to my left. I'm getting really good at this
Yeah.
stuff right
Getting
here.
really good. Nice.
How good. I got Timmy Tabala, he who must not be named, right down here. And
He's so
then,
good.
and then, Jader, the Hurricane. Paramo.
Yeah. It's like we're touching fingers.
I, I want to do that. I want to do
Oh, no.
it.
I just fingered Kyle.
You did. You tickled him right under the armpit, you know.
That's
All
why he
right,
jumped. I
so
didn't know if you saw. I didn't know you saw him jump.
we've come a long way in this tournament. We are down to the final four. Before we get to that, we got to discuss the Sweet 16 matchups and then the Elite 8 matchups that we had a little bit earlier this week. But as we usually do here, I got to share this shit out on social media so that people actually watch us. And Jader, how'd your evening go last night after we went off the air? We've done two shows in less than 24 hour period.
I'm telling you, man. Those content is coming out, people.
Content, baby.
It was good, man. I mean, after the show, I went upstairs and decided to be a sloth. And that new Final Fantasy VII game came out. Well, it's not new; it's a remake. And I, for one, don't really like RPG games. It's just not my style. But that was one that I actually fell in love with more for story. Just like my movies, I love story in movies. And that video game really did take me for a ride. So I decided to get the game last night, and I started playing, and I got to the first boss, and I got my ass whooped, completely whooped. And I gave it a go once, twice, and then after that, it was already past midnight. So I was like, screw this, man. I'm going to sleep. But I wasn't really tired. So then I've been watching. Unfortunately, I couldn't start off with Scream 1, but I did. I started watching Scream 2 because my girlfriend's never seen 2 or 3, and we started watching 2. She really dug it. She never saw them because Scream 1 terrified her as a kid. She's never seen it again. She only saw it that one time when she was 12. And I told her that the sequels are obviously not as bad, actually more comedic than anything. So we started watching 2. She really dug 2, loved the story, and felt the same. She's like, it's not as scary anymore. I'm like, well, you're also not 12.
Right.
And then we started watching Scream 3, and I hadn't seen that movie in a long time. And I guess I can count it as a guilty pleasure, or at least I did, because I never thought it was that bad as everybody would say. But now watching it again, that movie sucks. Like, I don't even know how they got a green light for that movie. It's terrible. That voice box thing that he uses,
Oh my god.
that he has everyone's voice all of a sudden, that was stupid. And
Hey,
then just
high tech.
yeah, super high tech. I was like, how the hell is that even possible? And again, that movie came out in 2000. I was 13 when that movie came out. So it's for me, like I said, when I was watching it as a kid, I'm like, this movie's badass. I probably even said that it was better when it came out at the time. Obviously, not being the case. But yeah, I finished it last night, and she looked at me and she was like, "That movie was a piece of shit." She's like, "That movie was terrible."
I got a question.
What's going on?
How can there be 7 Final Fantasies? Isn't that kind of redundant? Like, if it's the Final Fantasy, isn't that supposed to be the one and only fantasy because it's the last one? How's there 7 of those things? It doesn't make any sense.
They're up to 15, Kyle. They're up to 15 right now.
Then it's not the Final Fantasy. It's the
It's
7th
well, to be
Well, how about
fair,
Final Destination 73?
Yeah, well,
fantasy.
that's true too. But to be fair, just like Final Destination, every story in that game are different people, different characters. As far as I know, the only one that I really played was 7. I played some of the other ones, couldn't get into it, and when I don't like something, I'll just toss it to the side, and it is what it is. But I know that I think only one of them is a sequel to one of them. But everything else is a completely different character as far as I know. I could be wrong. If anybody knows the answer to that, put it up in the chat. But I'm pretty sure that every single character is different. And that's why it's probably called Final Fantasy whatever, instead of calling it a completely different name. Yeah.
Well, how about
All
that?
right. Okay. Dan says Scream 1 is a classic. Scream sequels are garbage.
That's not true.
Meryl and Tom will win both brackets. Mark it down. You heard it here first. Why? Because I know. That's why. Says Dan. He's going in full wrestler mode.
There you go.
No? I am falling asleep with a story. Yawn. Then go to sleep, Dan. Have at it. All right. Let's get to let's get to what's going on here. And so last time that we spoke, Meryl Streep was still alive in this thing. And she was it Kyle, did we talk about the Meryl Streep, Natalie Portman?
We talked
on the last one?
We previewed it. We didn't talk about the results.
Yeah. All right. So Meryl Streep went one-on-one with Natalie Portman, and Meryl Streep did what Meryl Streep was supposed to do, and she put a hurting on Natalie Portman.
Oh yeah.
So that was one. Viola Davis and Sandra Bullock. I tried. I tried so hard. Didn't work out. So my nightmare matchup of Meryl Streep and Sandra Bullock took place. But we'll get to that in a second. Any surprises there yet?
Meryl's been mowing down the competition. I'm surprised by this because, like we said last time, I thought she had her haters out there. I really like Meryl Streep. I think she's easily, there is one right there. Meryl Streep is easily the best actress to ever do it. But I thought with the popularity contest thing that this was going to come into play at some point, that people just weren't going to vote for her, and it hasn't happened yet. I'm honestly, this bracket surprises me the most because I was fully expecting someone like Amy Adams or Jessica Chastain to take this thing, and yet we're here with Sandra Bullock and Meryl Streep at the end. I mean, what happened, people?
I mean, to be fair, to kind of go off of what you just said, I know you hate her, Steve, and again,
wait. I don't hate her. I think I talked about this a couple episodes again. I don't hate her. I'm just new blood.
You don't get her.
Gotcha. Okay, well that's I can understand that. That's a fair point. I feel like she gets nominated for everything, even thinks she doesn't even deserve to be nominated.
Yes.
That's the only gripe I kind of have with her. But she is a current actress that she's done it all, man, and she's pretty freaking great at what she does. Even makes I forgot what freaking movie that I didn't like, but she made it tolerable. But there's some, she has a lot.
Dr. Jenkins.
Was it that one?
Is that?
Yeah, no,
probably
that
was.
one,
Where she's just
actually, because that movie sucked and she was good in it. So yeah.
Well, she's gonna be good in everything. She's never gonna.
No. I hated that. That Rockstar movie that she did, she sucked in that. Coño, bro. I feel so. Thank God that's not a Schmodown question. I'll get back to you on that one.
Dan just said something redundant too. Did you see what Dan just said? She is the best living actress ever. Okay, yeah. Living ever.
The best actress to ever live, and she's living the best to ever live.
But yeah, and then Sandra Bullock on the other side of this. I mean, I'm really surprised she's the one who pushed all the way through, because what is Bird Box that popular that people really love it that much? Or Ocean's 8? I know you guys didn't go to see Ocean's 8. That's a great movie. But where is Amy Adams? We need to fix this.
I agree with you 100%.
It's over, Kyle. Move on.
I can't.
It's over. Where was Amy Adams here?
She was the 2.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. See, this is here we go. It's Reese again. Reese, the 15 seed, knocked out Amy Adams, the 2 seed, and then Sandra Bullock knocked out Reese Witherspoon. So you were campaigning hard against Reese Witherspoon, but at least sports wise, as long as it's not a huge rival to me, I'm gonna be rooting for them, because I will have wanted my team to have lost to the champs.
Ricky and the Flash.
Oh yeah.
That's that movie. That was garbage. Continue.
All right. Dan says, I agree with Jader. That damn musical she was nominated for was garbage. I'm not sure which movie he's referring to here. FFJ.
Say Lakers and 6 to LA Clippers fan.
Oh, LA Clippers fan throws some sports into this. Bucks and Lakers in the NBA Finals. Who you got? How many games? You said Lakers in 6?
Yeah.
Come on, give Giannis some
Giannis doesn't
credit.
have a hoop at home, so he's not practicing.
Yeah, he needs it. I say Lakers in 7. Let's do it 2K style.
So we got Meryl Streep busted out of that bracket. She
has anybody? Did you guys anybody vote for the losers here? So anybody voted for Natalie Portman?
No, I voted Meryl.
I did to get Meryl out of there. That was the reason. And anybody vote Viola Davis? So look, I took it on the chin. I voted Natalie Portman and Viola Davis.
Yeah, that was a rough day for you.
It was rough.
I think I voted Viola Davis, actually. I'm pretty sure I did, actually. Did I?
That one was close. Sandra Bullock versus Viola Davis was a matchup. But Meryl Streep destroyed Portman, and then in Elite 8, she destroyed Sandra Bullock.
Dan says, I wish I could see Lady in the Window now, not Legally Blonde 3.
You're giving him too much screen time.
All right, let's move on to the other part of the women's bracket, and we'll circle back around for the Elite 8. Anne Hathaway lost to Emily Blunt. I think that's kind of along the way that we thought that was going to go.
Yeah, that one was close.
And then campaigning, Margot Robbie beat Scarlett Johansson, and this was the one that got Scott so irate that he started lashing out, saying, "Nobody sees any movies. See more movies."
Oh man,
was that one it? I thought it was something different.
It was that. It was a combination of that one, and it was a combination of Robert Downey Jr. beating De Niro, which I took exception to also.
That's the one that I read when Scott lashed out, and I mean, I have to agree. As much as I'm a big RDJ fan, what does he have besides the MCU? You know, that with caliber. You know, besides Zodiac and Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, I think that's it. Those are 3 films.
Tropic Thunder.
All right, fine.
yeah.
All right, but you're going against Deer Hunter, Taxi Driver, Goodfellas, Casino. Yeah, mobster films and all that. But
Dirty Grandpa.
A legend.
No.
Don't see. He's got to bring up.
Why are you bringing up Dirty Grandpa in the conversation? What are you doing, man? Come on.
He did it the other day too. Jader. But I was telling these guys, I was looking up. I don't know if you've ever gone on the website. It's called Ranker, ranker.com. And so they take any given topic and they throw names and films and all this stuff up there, and people vote. So, like for example, Tom Hanks could be number 1, but he's got 55,000 positive votes, 27,000 negative votes. So, Jader, you go on there and you hit the dislike button, and that means that he should be further down, somebody else should be further up, and when they pass each other, they go. So I just wanted to take a look at who Ranker or who the fans around the country thought was the best actor. So it was just best actor, and Robert Downey Jr. was number 14 on the list, and De Niro was 113th.
Jesus.
So I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't just the CST Army that was voting this way, the popularity contest of 2020. You know, Iron Man.
That's a millennial site.
Right.
Yeah.
But it feels like, you know, it bled into this. Like, I in no way thought that De Niro was going to go down to Robert Downey Jr.
No,
we talked about it.
I saw it coming.
To be completely honest with you, well, I don't know our general age census, but with the CSC Army, but even Cloud saw, if I'm not mistaken, he texted me that he saw Goodfellas about 2-3 weeks ago for the first time. You know, there's a lot of films that, like, you know, I mean, Kyle's like us, just younger for some reason. Like, he just loves film, you know. So I know he's seen a lot, but I asked a couple of my friends, they've never seen Deer Hunter. You know, they've never seen Taxi Driver. They've heard of the films. They know what they are. They know they're acclaimed films, but they've never actually sat down and watched them.
So they don't know how good they are.
Exactly, but you ask them if they've seen every single Marvel movie, it happened, and I
Of
get
course.
it. It's not bashing Marvel films because I love them as well.
Yeah.
They're great films, but it's what's in now. So there's some people that fell in love with film because of Iron Man 1, and that's I remember the first movie that I actually fell in love with was Batman '89, and I loved Terminator. Those to me were like the greatest films ever made.
Yep. Yep.
So
People are tired of the old Italian white guys. That's it. I mean, they saw The Irishman and they said, that's enough. We're done. Al Pacino got knocked out. Robert De Niro got knocked out. Joe Pesci didn't even make the tournament because of his old.
Well,
so, I mean,
Pacino.
Robert
this is
Downey
blasphemous, man.
What are you
This
doing?
is
I'm gonna
blasphemous.
mute.
I'm not going to argue that De Niro is not as good of an actor as Robert Downey Jr. I know De Niro is a great actor. I'm going to argue that people just like Downey Jr. better. He's a great actor in his own right. And like you said, we're not going to bash the Marvel films because at the same time, Robert Downey Jr. is amazing in those Marvel films. I will put Iron Man 3 up there against his best performances. He's amazing in Iron Man 3, Civil War, Avengers Endgame. He's awesome in all these movies. Not like he's just showing up to collect a paycheck. He's putting in the work. With De Niro, he's making films that people just aren't really seeing. I mean, a 3.5-hour Netflix film is just not appealing to a lot of people. It used to be, but not anymore.
That, and let me tell you something else that's giving him a lot of shit is the whole political stance that he's been taking.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. Yep.
All right, because I know personally friends that do not watch De Niro films anymore or don't like him because of his political stance. Because they obviously we know he doesn't like Trump. And my friends are Trump supporters. And they're like, oh, F that. I'm not watching Irishman. I'm not watching any of his films anymore, which is stupid. You should,
Very
obviously one thing is one thing and this is another. But I feel like that maybe could have taken some precedence in the voting. But again, I do see your point, Kyle. RDJ is a very, very, very likable.
One thing I've noticed too amongst people is people have problems going back to the 70s for some reason. It's like
and it's a great era of film.
It's like the 70s are so foreign to some people.
Yeah.
Like you said, Deer Hunter and Taxi Driver. People don't want to watch the 70s. Like, it's like, I don't know what it is. I have friends like that too. Like, oh, that movie looks old. That movie looks dated. I don't want to watch that. It's like, what are you talking about? It's one of the best movies you're ever going to see in your life. It looks dark and dreary. Well, that's the 70s.
What movie I showed to a friend recently? They had never seen it, and I told him to watch it, and then we talked about it after Dog Day Afternoon, and he was mind blown at how great that movie was.
It's a phenomenal movie.
Yeah,
and that's most reactions. But it's funny how the political effect did not hurt Meryl Streep
because it's Meryl Streep. And I got Bad Grandpa. I mean, how about Doolittle? How great was Doolittle? I heard that was phenomenal.
You open your mouth about Women's Day, and I'm out. I'm done. I'm done with you. I can't do it anymore. But this is I don't hate the guy. I don't support the guy. But I don't want to hear people talking about it 24/7 either. Like you can't get through a De Niro interview now without him mentioning president's an asshole. And he doesn't even say he doesn't like him. He flat out call him an asshole and all that stuff.
Oh, he cursed on CNN.
Go shoot somebody. I get it. I know.
Let me give you some names real quick. Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, Jeff Bridges, George Clooney, Harrison Ford, Gary Oldman, Anthony Hopkins, and Sylvester Stallone. These are all actors who are great, who didn't even make it past the round of 32.
Old white guys for 200, Alex.
There it is. I'm sorry, that's just the reality of the situation.
As long as that doesn't happen to Tom Hanks, we're cool. Let me look the CST Army in the eyes right now. Tom Hanks loses, I am shutting this shit down.
But if Tom Hanks wants to bash the president, he does it nicely. He does it quietly. He does it calmly.
It's like, he really shouldn't have done that.
It goes completely past you. You don't care.
Yeah. All right.
Margo, I mean, come on.
Okay, well, we're getting there. How did we get so far off there? All right.
Scott, it was Scott's fault again.
Oh, it is Scott's fault. All right.
It was
So,
Scott's fault.
all right. Emily Blunt took care of Anne Hathaway, and then so Margot Robbie advances. Got the vote out.
The Margot Scarlett fight was the best fight we've had in this
Yeah.
tournament. That thing was so close. So Scarlett was up by like 10 in the early stages, and then Margot made such a huge comeback and ended up by 1 at one point, and then Scarlett tied her, and then it was tied for a very long time, going back and forth, and then finally towards the end, Margot pulled out like a 3-point win.
Yeah, and you know what my issue with what some of the people were saying is just because somebody was in a bad movie doesn't make them any less of an actor or actress. If they did their thing in the movie, then all good. As Kyle has said several times on this show, Margot Robbie, no matter if it's a great movie, get 95% on Rotten Tomatoes, or something like Suicide Squad that got 27% on Rotten Tomatoes, she did a damn good job in it, and that's what this is about. She was hands
down the best part of Suicide Squad.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But that's what this is about. This is a combination of how great these actors and actresses are, and popularity. So this battle, semi DC versus Marvel, was probably the biggest one that some of our fans were looking forward to.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the names that Margot beat to get to her Final Four position. She beat Emma Thompson, Emma Stone, Scarlett Johansson, and Emily Blunt. Those are 4 power hitters right there. And she made her way all the way to Final Four. And I don't want to overlook Emily Blunt either. Because Emily Blunt, she was in a tight match with Charlize Theron and took her out. And then took out Anne Hathaway and Kate Winslet too. Emily Blunt's a damn good actress. And I think over time she's going to become one of the more popular ones because I think she's great in Mary Poppins. She's great in the Quiet Place films. I just saw Looper the other day, or a couple weeks ago for the first time. I've never seen it. She's awesome in it.
Oh, man, that movie's great.
Love Looper. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She's a fantastic actress, and I'm glad she got the recognition going all the way to Elite 8 also.
Yeah, my wife has voted Emily Blunt the whole time because that's Jim's wife. But she actually voted Margot Robbie in that last battle.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that. Now let's hop over to the men's side of things. It was Tom Hanks versus Christian Bale, and Tom Hanks just whooped Bane's ass.
Yeah.
This is the one that Kyle was like, Tom Hanks has more votes by himself than some of the other matchups combined. So Tom Hanks showing his popularity. That was the only one out of that top group there that I got right in my voting, because I also voted Steve Carell because I'm on this office trip right now.
I'm so glad you like that show now.
I love it, but
so
now I'm just about to start season 8. So I don't know. Jim's my boy though. Jim's my boy.
Jim's the best.
Huh? So Steve Carell, and if you haven't seen the morning show that's on Apple TV Plus, get out there and see that. If you can, he does a tremendous job in there. He's shown over the last decade or so that he can do the goofy comedy and then the real serious shit too. So I voted for him over Iron Man. I lost that too. Iron Man advances.
That was a close one too.
Yeah, and we expected that. Couldn't get the job done.
I voted Carell too.
Tim, I know you went the opposite way.
I did on that one, yeah.
Yeah.
Just on that one, yeah.
He said, yes, I did.
I did it.
All right. Continuing down the list, here's another one. Kyle, I told you, like, if Scott had a cheat day with a male in Hollywood, it would be Leonardo DiCaprio. And so he went off on this too. Samuel L. Jackson knocks out the 1 seed in Leonardo DiCaprio. I voted DiCaprio. Kyle?
That honestly, I know you didn't. I saw that, and I still think it's super absurd. And I want to hear your side of the story, man, because I don't understand how you possibly think that Sam Jackson deserves this over DiCaprio, man.
Listen, DiCaprio's an amazing person, amazing actor, but Sam Jackson is one of the most likable people. Period. Just in any aspect, whether it's any film he's ever done, he's so much fun, and everyone always turns to him whenever. I mean, his name is synonymous with the F word. Everyone looks at Sam Jackson when it comes to motherfucker, and that's just his word. And he's always has his face. I mean, DiCaprio does a film every 4 years. Sam Jackson is everywhere every single year. He was in 3 Marvel movies last year, but it's not just the Marvel stuff. He's in almost every Tarantino movie. He's always out there working, putting his name out there. He's just an amazing ambassador for the film industry and someone you want to hang out with, someone you want to be with. And with Leo, I don't see that. Leo is the guy who is hanging out with models that are 20 years younger than him. And he's an amazing actor in everything he's in.
So?
But we're talking about, this is the thing, like I feel like this is more like a popularity contest now because you like the person more over the quality of work. I think you're picking quantity over quality in this. Like, again, all these actors that we have on this list are obviously there for a reason. You know, they're good actors. So, but I feel like, yeah, Sam Jackson is in Tarantino films. That's fine. But so is DiCaprio. And DiCaprio outshines. He outshined him in Django. You know, I think DiCaprio did a way better job in that. When it comes to the Marvel films, you can't count Avengers Endgame. He was in the movie for 5 seconds.
No, but
you know,
it's.
So,
but I put the seeding out there based on acting ability. So that's why DiCaprio was the number 1 seed. That's why Tom Hanks is number 1 seed. I put the seeding out there based on that. Once the matchups are out there, people vote on who they like better. It's not about. So your criteria could be, yeah, I think this person is a better actor, but other people's criteria could be, I just like this person better, and that's the way it goes once the polls are out there. And that's, I feel like, what's been dominating the decision making for most people is that they look at the 2 people next to each other and say, I really like Sam Jackson better than DiCaprio, and that's just how it goes.
Yeah, so Sam Jackson has taken down Bradley Cooper, Tom Cruise, and now Leonardo DiCaprio.
He shouldn't have taken down Bradley Cooper, in my opinion. But that's way back then. I lost that one. You
did. I don't remember how I voted. But like you said, Kyle, with DiCaprio dating 20-year-old girls 20 years younger, Dan says if you look like Leo, you would do that too, Kyle.
I do look like Leo, but I'm not dating 2-year-olds.
But what did I say on the last?
Aren't you 23 now, though?
No, not yet. Not till August.
No, even worse, dude.
All right, what'd you say, Timmy?
I remember I said on the last show, and Jada wasn't for the last show, but I said, what's Sam Jackson? He's the same in every movie. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like James Cagney, like John Wayne, they're the same in every damn role they do, except for Django, he was completely different. And he was phenomenal in that. I'm going to give him that. But yeah, even Leo beat him in that movie, I think. Because that Leo was, wow. You hated him in that freaking movie.
Oh, yeah.
And it was great. So that's the reason I went the other way. I didn't vote Sam. Doesn't mean I don't like him. I don't think he's great, but he's always Sam Jackson. And the John Wayne is always John Wayne. Cagney is always Cagney. So that's the reason I went the other way.
And to Sam Jackson's credit, he campaigned specifically for this by reading the Stay the F Home book. Yes. That was his campaign. That was his bid there. All right. A huge matchup that just took place was 2 giants, and that was Brad Pitt at a number 3 seed and Denzel at a number 2 seed. See, this is one of the few, along with Margot and Scarlett, a couple others, that really didn't matter who won. They both deserved to win this matchup. But so I know, Kyle, I think you went Brad Pitt's way. We made our arguments on the last show. I went Denzel. Tim, who did you go with?
I believe I went Denzel.
Denzel. Jader?
Brad Pitt.
So we're completely split here. That's how close was this one, Kyle?
This was a blowout in Denzel's favor.
Yeah, Denzel stomped him.
Yeah, I was shocked.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe. Yeah, it shouldn't have been a blowout. This should have been like a 2-point win. But And I can't even explain. I mean, besides the fact that Denzel was one of my favorite actors, if not the favorite, but I couldn't explain the recent stuff. Denzel whooping Brad on this.
Yeah.
So I know you take the full body of work. Training Day is one of my favorite. Like he was insane in Training Day. For me, I think a couple other people in the chat talked about that and they're in the comments for Training Day because I started asking because I got curious. Why are you voting the way you are? So instead of just hitting the button, I want to kind of know what your mindset is on these things. And a couple people mentioned Training Day. I don't remember what everybody else was saying, but that's that could have been something that took him over the top. Even though Brad Pitt has stuff, more relevant things in the last X amount of years.
I will go back and watch Brad Pitt's movies before I go back and watch Denzel's movies, and that was the deciding factor for me. I will watch Fight Club and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and Seven and Benjamin Button. I'll watch all these movies before I go back and watch Malcolm X or He Got Game or Training Day, like you mentioned. It's just Brad Pitt's movies are more rewatchable to me, and that's why I went with him. But it's not any degrading thing against Denzel. Denzel's amazing. He's such a terrific actor, and it showed in the polls because people overwhelmingly voted for him.
Yeah. Kind of the same. It's the rewatchability for me. And as much as I like Denzel and his swag, I love Brad Pitt in where his comedic timing. When you see that episode he did with Zach Galifianakis, Between Two Ferns, like that for me is fantastic. And the rewatchability comes strongly into play. As much as I do love Denzel, because I love Man on Fire, I love Flight that he did recently, Training Day, even when he's the Equalizer, man. Like those movies weren't critically acclaimed; they were just fun as hell to watch.
Yeah.
But I will take any of those Denzel characters from. But I prefer an Aldo Rain from Inglourious Bastards. I would prefer a Benjamin Button when he played Billy Bean in Moneyball. Like all these even his the ending of 12 Years a Slave, man, that was super powerful shit for me. Seven, Fight Club, just like they were mentioned before. I was watching what's this Tony Scott film, man? True Romance, and he was phenomenal in that. 12 Monkeys. Like there's just so many of his films that I love way more, and Denzel was my favorite actor for a long time. He's still in my top 5, Denzel, But Brad Pitt, with everything that I was watching Snatch not too long ago when he's playing the Irish guy, man, and that's just hilarious.
I love Snatch.
Yeah, so I feel like he just has range, man. If you see him in a chick flick like Legends of the Fall, which is a great film. Then you see him obviously be Tyler Durden in Fight Club. You see him in Snatch, but then you see him be a more serious character. Like he does it. His range is ridiculous.
It baffles me when somebody has not seen Fight Club.
Oh, I told you that it happened with me. My girlfriend hadn't seen it, and I showed it to her.
Well, specifically to men, there are so many relationships that I'm friends with and whatnot that you're playing catch up with your girlfriend or your wife. Your wife, but my wife hasn't seen a ton of movies. Yeah. I'm not even sure if she's seen Fight Club. I've been with her 15 years. I gotta, maybe make a list and I'll send her the top 100 films and say which ones haven't you seen, and let's boom knock them out.
Yeah. See, I take exception to what Dan said in the chat, saying Denzel's decade of the '90s blows away Brad's entire career. I think that's ridiculous because also if you look at not just Brad's acting career, which we've done, his producing career is amazing. It's one of the best in Hollywood right now. If you look at, he produced Kick-Ass, The Tree of Life, Moneyball, World War Z, 12 Years a Slave, Moonlight, Fury, Selma, The Big Short, Lost City of Z, If Beale Street Could Talk, Beautiful Boy, Vice, Ad Astra, and that's it for right now. But Brad Pitt is crushing it right now in the producing game and in the acting game.
Didn't he produce The Departed? I'm pretty sure he produced The Departed.
I don't have it here on IMDb. Oh, yeah, he did. Yes, he did.
He did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean,
To say that it blows away Denzel's 90s blows away his entire career is just blasphemous to me.
I'm not seeing. I'm not going to agree with that either. I'm looking at the '90s here, and Malcolm X '92, Ricochet, Devil in a Blue Dress, Courage Under Fire, Preacher's Wife. Let me see what else he's got.
I feel like he blew up more in the 2000s than anything.
Yeah.
I think
It's 2000.
I give him more 2000s work because let me look at what he did. So, you know what movie I do love from Denzel that's super underrated and I don't feel like anyone talks about? The Hurricane.
That's
and
one
it's
that
not-
Dan mentions here. The Hurricane. That's back from the late '90s.
That was 99, yeah. But if you look at 2000s, I got the IMDb pulled up. You have Remember the Titans, which I love that movie. You have Training
Loved it.
Day, John Q. Those movies back to back to back.
Now hold on a second. Pause on the John Q thing. I've never looked up some of these movies on Rotten Tomatoes. I love John Q, and John Q is at 23% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah. It's not. It was. I
There you
remember
go,
that.
Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah. I mean, that's why, sometimes Antoine Fisher, Out of Time, Man on Fire, Manchurian Candidate, Inside Man, Deja Vu, and American Gangsters. That was like from 1999 that I just mentioned to 2007, back to back to back. So I understand and I get it. Like I said, a lot of those films that I just mentioned, I've only seen once. With the exception of those three. Remember the Titan, Training Day, and John Q? I've seen those multiple times.
A
Antoine
million
Fisher.
times.
Yeah, Antoine Fisher, I've seen once. Out of Time, I've seen once. Manchurian Candidate, I think I've seen maybe twice. Inside Man, which I love, but I've only seen that movie about 2 times. Deja
Loved it.
Vu, I've only seen once.
Yeah. So Dan had his just timeline a little off there.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get to the final 4 here because we got just a few more minutes here. So here's the final 4, and it's gonna be interesting because can't wait. Denzel's gonna get his ass whooped. I think. Tom Hanks.
Sure.
Tom
surprised,
Hanks.
man.
Tom Hanks. I'll shut it down. Tom Hanks. The Office. I'll set the building on fire. My stapler. Tom Hanks and Denzel Washington. Let's go round robin here. You guys know where I'm going. I'm going Tom Hanks. Kyle, who you got? Shut it down.
I'm not confident in this. I might go Hanks for right now, but I think this is going to be a lot closer than you think.
All right, Jader.
I got Hanks right now as well.
Timmy.
Same.
Yes. That's what I want to hear. All right, now here. Well, it's unanimous until Kyle changes his mind. Don't you called me out on that. I don't want you pulling the same shit. All right, let's go over to the women's side.
Do it.
I'll do it. I'll do it. All right, on the women's side, please, guys, please, Meryl Streep and Margot Robbie. Do I have to play the scene? Do I have to play the scene right now?
That's my card right now.
That's the card.
Steven,
Bam.
I said if Margot needs a last second push, put the nude scene from Wolf of Wall Street on the Facebook page. That's what pushed her over the top.
You need to do it. All right. I'm going Margot Robbie here. Clearly, Kyle.
Absolutely, she's my favorite. My favorite at this entire tournament. I want to see her in the finals. So Margot Robbie.
Tim. I'm skipping Jada because he's got that smile on his face. I don't like it.
I honestly, I don't know, man. I don't know what the hell I'm voting.
I don't know either. Strictly like you said though, Meryl's been around for how many years, and she's making good movies every year. She's nominated almost every. I mean, some of them maybe she doesn't deserve, like you said, but she doesn't go away, man. And she's always good in her stuff.
Yeah, man.
So I don't know if that one scene, which was a phenomenal scene, could sway me that much. This is going to be a last-minute decision for me again. I can't even say until I click the button.
Honestly,
Okay.
yeah, same thing for me. And let me tell you, Margot is actually a bunch of my favorite actresses got they got taken out already. Emily Blunt's up there. Emma Stone was actually my favorite actress for a while. And as soon as I saw Wolf of Wall Street, obviously that changed my. Which she was in a film before Wolf of Wall Street, which I thought Wolf of Wall Street was her first movie. And I recently
what was it?
About time, right?
About time,
Yeah.
exactly. And I just saw it recently again, and I was like, "Holy shit!" I had no idea it was her. Obviously, she had my full attention in Wolf of Wall Street. But everything she's pretty much done after that, I've been on board, and I've liked her performance. I don't think she was bad in any film after that. Even though I didn't care, again, Tarzan didn't really care for it, but I thought she was great. Obviously, Suicide Squad, I, Tonya. I feel like that movie is very underrated. It got the little Oscar buzz when it came out, and then people don't talk about it anymore. I think she was amazing.
She was phenomenal in that.
Yeah, she was great.
She's great in Bombshell too, which no one talks
Bombshell,
about.
which was an okay movie, which I saw recently. Actually, I think they all did phenomenal. To be completely honest with you, I just felt like that the material that was given wasn't that great. I feel like it's more of a women movie because my girlfriend felt that movie way more than I did, obviously because of everything that happens. But I thought she was fantastic in that. And it just Focus is another movie that a lot of people don't like. Focus was dope.
I love
man.
Focus.
Focus was dope, so I really like that
great.
too.
Yeah.
If we're gonna go on rewatchability, then I'm gonna have to go Margot, obviously, and she is again my favorite actress working right now. But Meryl Streep's history, man, is just it kind of goes back and forth right now with Tom Hanks and Denzel. They're both tyrants in this acting world, but Tom Hanks has been doing it for a little bit longer than and Tom Hanks has some duds on him too, but I feel like his duds were more beginning of his career versus his ending of career, because he's everything that he's released pretty much now has been solid.
Bachelor Party, underrated comedy.
Bachelor Party, super
for sure.
underrated. Super underrated. But I mean, if I have to pick right now, right this second, if you put the poll up, I would go Margot. But that can honestly change. So I'm gonna go into IMDb.
Let me tell you something. I thought she was from New York. That's how good she was. When I
Yeah,
heard her
right?
talk, I was like, she's freaking Australian. I was
And then
like,
you heard the accent.
nailed that Brooklyn accent, man. Nailed it.
And
Yeah.
she's great in interviews. Jimmy Fallon, she's been on there a million times, and she's just hilarious every single time.
Oh, she's a huge Slipknot fan too. She's a huge Slipknot fan, and that's one of the
you would find that out.
Yeah, no, she did it. She did it on, I think it was Fallon or Kimmel, where she mentioned that he asked her what was her first concert, and it happened to be a Slipknot show. And she's saying that she was a fan. It was the greatest experience. I'm like, fuck yeah.
Listen to this, because and real quick, because we got a couple minutes here. But on the Tom Hanks side, and I knew this, but it didn't hit me. I mean, it's 20 years now. But they did the rewatchable show on Castaway on the Bill Simmons show, and he started going through this. This is from 1992 to 2000. All right, 2002. This is Tom Hanks. A League of Their Own, Sleepless in Seattle, Philadelphia, Forrest Gump, Apollo 13, Toy Story, and then he did that thing you do, Saving Private Ryan, You've Got Mail, Toy Story 2, The Green Mile, Castaway, Road to Perdition, Catch Me If You Can. That's insane.
It's exactly what I'm saying. There's no that I'm telling you and imagine, like, I completely forgot about A League of Their Own. I was gonna start from Philadelphia and on. Completely forgot. I don't know why I thought League of Their Own came out in the late 80s, like 89 or something.
92.
92. So if you look at that, it's
insane.
It's not fair.
Like, all right. So this week, Kyle, are we doing both matchups Monday, or we're gonna do one on one?
We're gonna do both matchups on Monday. Give
Okay.
the winners a chance to rest on Tuesday, and then we'll have the chance.
No, they rest in between. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So So matchups start on Monday. It's gonna be Meryl Streep against Margot Robbie, and Denzel Washington versus Tom Hanks. You remember that old MTV show that they used to do? What was that? With the clay guys.
Celebrity Deathmatch.
Celebrity Deathmatch.
Yeah.
This is what we set up. Celebrity Deathmatch. 2 in each corner. There we go. All right, guys. I appreciate you shooting the shit with me. It was fun. Some breath of fresh air on this Saturday in quarantine. Any final words? We'll start with Timmy.
Stay home. Stay safe. I don't want to go out no more, but I have to until this shit's over. So wear a mask, wear gloves, do what they tell you to do. That's all.
Just do it. Jader?
Same thing that Timmy said. Just
Yeah.
stay home, stay safe, dude, and do whatever you guys got to do to, like, not prolong the situation anymore.
Yep.
I miss the bar.
I know. Oh, God. Kyle, what you got?
We're gonna promote ourselves. Watch the first episode of the Jader and Kyle show.
There we go.
It's up on YouTube and on Anchor, so it's you can listen to it on your podcast. And then go vote Margot. That's how we're gonna finish this. Margot versus Tom Hanks versus Margot is my prediction, and then we'll see where it goes from there.
That's what I'm hoping for. All right. Look, follow us all over the place. Cine Sports Talk on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook, all that good stuff. Coming up this week, we'll probably have another recap show. Tim's gone. We have a Just Too Sweet show on Tuesday where we're going to. I'm still helping produce that show while Timmy waits on his laptop. So we're gonna do the top, I think, 10 entrance musics for wrestling. Jader, you gotta come up with your own, right? There was a guy named the Hurricane in wrestling back in the day.
How long ago?
Long time ago. 20
Right,
years.
guys,
I mean,
I gotta sign off right now.
all right, buddy.
See you guys.
Yeah, we're all gonna sign off. Put it in the books on Wednesday. Not sure about what's going on Thursday, but we could sing just the two of us right now, Jader.
I don't know it by heart, but I'll do it this way.
All right.
Can you
All
do
right,
this
so-
in the Beach Boys? Hell no.
All right, that'll do it for us today, and we will talk to you throughout the week. Thanks, Jader.
Later, man. Take care.
Peace.
All right.